Welcome to the Leadership Corner. My name is Ki Liu, and I'm the Executive Director for the Disaster Resilience Leadership Academy at Tulane University. The Leadership Corner is a forum where leaders from the non-governmental organizations, United Nations, local and national authorities can come together to share their insights and motivations to provide support to people and communities affected by natural and man-made disasters. The following interview is with Randolph Kent, who I consider a good friend and a mentor. Randolph is currently the director of the Humanitarian Futures Programme at King's College. His prior experiences include serving as the UN Resident and Humanitarian Coordinator for Somalia, UN Humanitarian Coordinator for Kosovo and Rwanda, as well as the Chief of the UN Emergency Unit in Sudan. I hope you enjoy the following interview. Randolph, welcome to the Leadership Corner.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You have had an extremely distinguished career. You have been the UN Resident Humanitarian Coordinator in Rwanda, in Kosovo and Somalia. You've been the Chief of the Emergency Unit in Sudan, Chief of Emergency and Prevention Preparedness in Ethiopia, and the list goes on. How did you get your start in this career, and why did you choose to enter into this profession?
You know, it's really funny. It took place over a breakfast table, and we were about to sell our publishing company. This was in the United Kingdom, and I think all of us were getting a bit bored with our publishing company, which, dare I say, was actually quite successful, and we were about to sell it, etc., etc. And I was looking at the newspaper over breakfast, and I saw this banner headline. It happened to be, I was reading the International Herald Tribune, and a banner headline that said, 16 people, and I think this must have been 1979, 1980, I'm not sure, had died falling off a collapsed bridge, which I believe was in St. Louis. And I turned the paper over, and there was one column inch that talked about literally tens of thousands of people dying in India because of a flood. And I wondered, what is the relative value of life? Why 16 get a banner headline and tens of thousands get a column inch? And I began to think about that, and then became more and more interested in, if you like, the values and what people attest to values. And then I thought, I need to know more. And so I began to trace the footsteps of what happened in East Pakistan in 1970, to see how, which was really one of the first major, what you might call international disasters, by no means the first international disaster, but the kind in which the development of the media, the attention of the media, the Cold War context, all of this brought together the problems facing, and in this case, literally millions of people. In 1970, just by the way, 250,000 people lost their lives with the cyclone off the coast of East Pakistan, as it was, off the Bay of Bengal. Mm-hmm. And in 6 hours, 250,000 people disappeared. And literally, millions continued to suffer. And as I traced that, and going up and down Chittagong hill tracks, going, if you like, down the great Meghna River in what then became Bangladesh, all of a sudden I realized that it would be very important not merely to understand, but to get more involved. And so I guess sometime towards the late 1970s, I began to get involved. I was given some money, and I wrote a book, and then I was picked up by the United Nations. And it all began, I guess sometime around 1982, 83, in the hills of Wollo province in Ethiopia during the great drought famine. And I guess that's where it all started.
Mm-hmm.